What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Intensive Treatment, where we talk about all things Arkham. And today we're switching it up a little bit, but not too switched up because we're still going to kind of bring it back to some Arkham. But today we want to talk about the Batman movie. Obviously, we've been building up this hype since the first episode of the other podcast that we do, the Speaking Nerd podcast, which was way back in 2020. And just so that you guys know, we will be spoiling the movie. We're not going to go fully in depth because we will be doing a full spoiler review with the whole crew of Speaking Nerd podcast back on that channel, which I'll link in the description. But there will be some spoilers in this video. So if you have not seen the movie, I would advise you to either click off or skip ahead to when we're talking about the other topic that we're going to be talking about. But first, let's kind of talk about our initial thoughts on the movie. And also, I kind of wanted to pick your brain a bit for what you think of how it compares to the other Batman movies, particularly the Nolan trilogy in particular.
Yeah. Well, just getting into initial thoughts, I thought the movie was great. I thought it was fantastic. It was everything that I wanted it to be and more. There was never a dull moment. It was fantastic cast. The overall look of the movie was great. The score was amazing. It's just overall a very fantastic movie and probably one of the best comic book movies in recent memory.
Yeah, for sure. I would jump right into the same boat with you. I think this was a fantastic Batman movie. I think it was a fantastic movie. Set aside from Batman, it was a great detective story.
Yes.
There was a lot of thrilling moments, a lot of drama. I loved the Riddler. I thought he was really creepy, and Paul Dano was just incredible. Really great cast decision on their part. He just really embodied that role for the Riddler they were going for. But the elephant in the room, Robert Pattinson was phenomenal as Batman, I thought. And Bruce Wayne. I thought that he played the duality the best out of any of the former actors who have played Batman. And, one of the criticisms I've been seeing a lot of Robert Pattinson is that he did play a great Batman, but he didn't do a good Bruce Wayne. But obviously, if you've seen the film, you know that Bruce Wayne is not fully developed yet. He's not a playboy. He's still a recluse, and that was the point of the character. And Batman is kind of the driving force behind why he's going to start to become that in the sequels. But I just think Robert Pattinson did such a great job. One of the scenes that sticks out to me is obviously when he's leading all the Gotham civilians out of was the stadium? Was it a stadium or was it more of a theater?
The stadium, yeah.
Yeah. At the end of the movie, he's leading them all out of a stadium, and it just shows that he's starting to realize that Batman is going to have to become more of a figure of hope rather than a figure of fear so that he can be trusted and so that he can protect the city in the way it needs to be protected, which really the ending did such a great job at doing that when he's holding the civilian's hand as she's going up into the helicopter. I thought that was great. And another standout scene for me was they really got the aspect of fear out of Batman in this movie. The very intro scene where he talks about how he is the shadows. What was that?
Oh, he's terrifying. Just him, the scene of him in the train, in the train stop, and he's coming out of the shadows, just walking towards these kids in their their makeup, and he's just terrifying. He is really a force of nature, and Robert Pattinson did an amazing job. He did, his Batman, and did a really good balance of being, the smart detective, but also, he could really kick ass when he wanted to.
Hell yes.
His Bruce Wayne, I really liked his Bruce Wayne just as that he's not playboy Bruce Wayne yet. He's very deep personal Bruce Wayne, who doesn't really have much of a presence yet. which I really
Oh,
liked.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, and also Paul Dano, like, absolutely fucking stole the show for me. Like, he was probably like my favorite character in the entire film.
Yeah. Um, I will say that this film did a great job as well at showing the relationship between Batman and Catwoman. Um, Catwoman
Yes.
is more fleshed out than ever. Um, and I really want to see her in a sequel. Um, I would love to, and I'm sure they will. She was a huge part of this movie, and obviously they're having the whole cat and mouse love thing going on. They kissed a couple times in the movie, and they both saved each other's lives on multiple occasions. So I'm sure she'll make an appearance in future installments. So, and
Yes.
Zoe Kravitz did a great job. I thought she was a perfect casting for Catwoman, and she did such a phenomenal job at becoming that character. She really stole the show for me. I thought she was great. Um, but honestly, everyone in that movie, Matt Reeves directed so perfectly. Colin Farrell was great. I didn't know if his part was going to be kind of very minimal, but he played a significant part in the story. Um,
Yeah,
and I think,
surprisingly.
yeah, I was very surprised at how much they used him. And they throw you for a little bit of a turn where you kind of think he might be the rat for a little bit. Um, and then, Colin Farrell does a great job at being a dumbass as Penguin, um, and thinking he can outsmart Batman with like the stupidest ideas ever. He really thinks he can drive away from Batman in a damn tank muscle car. No, um, but Colin did a great job, and I'm really interested to see what they do with the series that they're doing for Penguin. Um,
Mhm.
so yeah, long story short, cast was great, movie was great. I think the pacing was well done, and I cannot wait for more. Um,
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. I feel the same way. Like, it's just immediately after leaving the theater, not only did I want to see the movie again, but also I was really excited to see what they do with the spin-off shows.
yep,
Um, so we're in good
um,
hands, that's for sure.
absolutely. So to kind of close this off, how do you think it fares against the other Batman films we've had? Obviously, we have the Burton films, Christopher Nolan movies, and the masterpiece Batman and Robin by Joel Schumacher. Um,
Yeah.
for me personally, I'm not including BVS just because I think I said this before, at least to you. I don't count it as a Batman movie. It's not a solo Batman film, so I'm just kind of counting solo Batman movies. But what do you think? What's your take on this?
That's that's hard for me to say because I've only seen it once, and
Mm.
like it was a late showing too, so it was a little groggy by the end. But as far as like it's like neck and neck with Dark Knight and Batman '89 for me. Like, it's those are
Mm.
probably my top three.
Yeah,
Um, there are parts of the Batman that I like better than the other two movies. There are other things about those movies that I like better than the Batman, but like
yeah,
it probably needs a second viewing before I get a more definitive answer. But as of right now, those are like like it's definitely top tier for sure as far as uh, Batman movies concerned. So
yeah.
I feel like you would have a more definitive answer than I would. So
Well, I've seen it twice, but really I only count the first time because I had an interesting experience for the second viewing, which I'll save for another time. But Marvel knows exactly what happened to me, and wasn't the best of experiences. But the
no, it
first
really
time,
wasn't.
no, the first time though, I got to see it alone in IMAX, and just from the first viewing, um, I agree it's a top tier Batman film. I think that this Batman movie is a better Batman film than the other two movies. It's very Batman focused. And it's not an origin story either, which is great. So
No.
obviously, Matt Reeves we know the origin of Batman. We know he goes to train. We know he makes his own suit with the money he has. And we know his parents got murdered. We know all that already. So really studying the Batman in really the toughest years of his Batman career, usually, which is the early years, always is Batman's toughest. His relationship with the police is not steady yet. He doesn't know who he is yet as a person and as the Dark Knight. So I think that exploring that was a really wise decision, and I think it paid off because it's a great Batman-centered film. But I think that like the Dark Knight explores the psychology of Batman a little bit better. I was actually rewatching the Dark Knight today for the second time in a week. And man, it's such a phenomenal movie. And it's like neck and neck with the Batman. Like they're both so damn good. It's hard for me to choose. But yeah, it's top tier for sure. And I want to see it more times. And thankfully it's going to be on HBO Max as well. So I can watch it as many times as I freaking want to watch it. And nobody's going to judge me because they see me in the movie theater 4 times in a week.
Yeah.
But yeah, so phenomenal movie. I can't talk about it enough. So yeah, that's our take on the Batman. Do you kind of want to lead us into the next part of the episode?
Yes. So we were kind of talking about how, we could relate this, since this is an Arkham podcast at the end of the day, how we can relate it back to that series. And what we came up with is talking about our favorite movie/TV outfits that they've done across the entire Arkham series, and also talk about the possibility of the Robert Pattinson Batsuit coming to Arkham Knight. And yeah, I guess there's not really much else to say from that. I will say that, like, what I mean by that is that, like, skins like Batman Beyond from both Arkham City and Arkham Knight, I don't count necessarily, but like Batman Beyond from like Arkham Origins Mobile, I would, because it is literally based off of the cartoon. So,
right.
So that's where I'm fitting in my parameters. I'm not sure about you, but like, but what would you say is your favorite outfit based on one of the Batman movies?
Okay. Obviously, most of these are going to come from Arkham Knight.
Yes.
It had the biggest catalog of suits, and a few of them were from the movies. Hint, hint. For me, it's in between Batfleck and 89. The 89 suit is literally a carbon copy, and it's so great. I mean, it's a perfect bat suit. What can I say? I mean, they got it down to a T.
Yeah.
But I think personally, I'm leaning more towards Batfleck, just because I always have preferred the black and gray look. And I just love that suit to death. I used it so much when it came out. But it's in between. I mean, if I had to choose one, I'd probably say BVS, but usually it's in between those two. What about you? I think I know your answer already.
Yeah, it's 89. Like, I mean, my childhood Batman, like the one that I grew up with was Christian Bale, but like before that, like as a little tiny toddler, I'd watch, Batman 89 with my parents. I don't know why they allowed me to watch it at that age, but, but yeah, it's, Michael Keaton holds such a special place in my heart, and, they did that outfit justice in the game. So like, I just, like Batfleck is a close second for sure. I like Dark Knight too, but like 89 just takes it for me. Like,
I mean, the Dark Knight is just very it doesn't fit perfectly for me. It doesn't fit too well. Just the body type is weird. The head looks too big. Like it's just very it's a little strange.
Yeah, I feel the same way. It's very accurate. Like it is accurate to the movie, but like it is really weird seeing that because they had to make it work with the model, so they literally like bulked him down, and it doesn't look right. So,
Right.
um, as far as TV outfits concerned, I mean, there's not really a whole bunch of them. I mean, you got Adam West Batman, which I've said this before in the other skin videos, but like Adam West, I prefer the Arkham Origins version compared to Arkham Knight. Arkham Knight just
Yeah.
looks really weird.
Yeah.
But I also want to give a mention to Beware the Batman in Blackgate. You can get that as an outfit, and it's probably my favorite outfit in that game. But that's probably because I like the show. So a very minority here to some people we know.
Yeah.
So, but what about you as far as TV outfit concerned?
Mm, I would probably say, well, would we count the anime suit as TV? I don't think we would, but I mean, I'm just asking just to make sure.
I mean, we can count among the suits that we're talking about today. I'd say the best one is like animated series for
That's what
sure.
I was
But
gonna say.
yeah, but anime suit I really like too.
Yeah.
Weirdly enough.
Yeah, it's a
um,
lot of people don't like it, or they find it strange. I love that suit.
yeah, me too. Um, yeah, so I'm a fan of the anime movie Gotham Knights, or Gotham Knights, or I should say. So I was really happy to see that in the game. But
Yeah.
yeah, a lot of people don't like it, and I mean I can see why. It's definitely an out there design for Batman,
Sure.
but I mean it's Japan. Japan makes a lot of weird shit. So yeah, but yeah, animated series is like the best one. It's like top tier.
Yeah, I agree.
Um, I don't really have much else to say. But what about you?
Mm, no, not really. But all I no, yeah, there's not really much else to say. But I would say actually, you guys know if you saw the episode that the Adam West suit in Origins is better, in my opinion, and Marvel's opinion. So if I could choose a live action one, it would be that one.
Mm-hmm.
I think it looks really good in that game.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think that's it.
Okay, so let's talk about now the possibility of the Robert Pattinson Batsuit making its way into Arkham Knight. Now, I want to hear your answer first because I'm curious to see what your thoughts on this are.
Well,
Do you think that there is a possibility?
obviously, there's always a possibility. Yes. So I would say there is a possibility, but I don't know that it's a definite. That being, Arkham Knight is like 7 years old at this point. Um, it's it's a little late to put a new suit in. I mean, games have done stuff like that, but I don't know that they would do it for Arkham Knight. It just doesn't feel like they would. Um, but I do know where you're gonna go with it. So why don't
Really?
you give? Yes. So give your view, and I'm gonna tell you if I agree with it or not.
Okay. As much as I would like to see the Robert Pattinson suit and Batmobile in the game, I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Like just anytime soon. And I know people are already in the comments being like, "Well, Spider-Man did that for PS4 and stuff." The thing about that is that they were still working on the game as they were making those suits. They were still putting out updates and stuff like that. The last update Arkham Knight got was when, they made anime and Zero Hour Batman just in the game. You didn't need, WBID or whatever to unlock them. So,
Right.
and plus all their time now is spent working on the Suicide Squad game, so they're not going to just put a few developers on the side and be like, hey, we need you to make like a Robert Pattinson suit in Batmobile because the fans want it. Like, they're not going to put that much time to it. This is WB we're talking about, so like,
Right.
They do that. So
Yeah.
I might be wrong. Like, you never know. They could put it in the game just as a fun price, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah. I'm leaning more towards what you're going to say or what you just said. And I also know that you have said before that if it did ever happen, it would be with a remaster.
Yeah.
Not the actual current generation game.
No, because I feel like when you do that, like that would be the optimal time to do that with the remastered version, since people are working on it, they could like put some hours on the side to like make the model for the Robert Pattinson suit and Batmobile, and maybe even Catwoman too. Like, like for that, it gives them an excuse to do that. But for like the base game, where like they've only updated a couple times over the last like year or so, I don't think it's likely. So
absolutely not.
So
yeah,
it would be cool though, just to drive around in the suit, but
absolutely, I would love that.
Yeah, I don't think it's a surefire thing, at least for me anyway.
Yeah, I'm with you. Obviously anything's possible, but it just doesn't feel like that would ever happen. So
yeah,
live with it, ladies and gentlemen.
Should just install mods. Like, people can just mod the suit into the game. It's mostly texture mods, but like it's still possible. So you can just do it that way if you really need to play as Pattinson Batman.
Yeah. So enjoy your modding, everybody.
Yeah.
Until that day comes.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think that's gonna be it for this episode. Go watch the movie. That's all I really need to say.
Go watch the Batman. Or I'll start singing "Me Marty." So just do it so that you can save your ears.
Yeah, take as many friends and as family as you need to. Like, just buy as many tickets as possible. We need this to be successful so that WB can actually be like, hey, these directors can direct movies and we don't need to interfere in them and, fuck it up. So
exactly,
do that.
Please save the Batman from being destroyed by big WB people.
Yeah.
WB stands for wild bitches. So save us from wild bitches.
Save us from wild bitches. That's our message of the day.
Well, guys, that's going to be it for today's episode. We thank you for joining. Thank you for listening to us, as always. And like, comment, subscribe, follow us on Twitter, and check out the Speaking Nerd podcast here on YouTube. We will see you all in the next one.